Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Let's get after it.
Why are all these celebrities using this black goo? So Megan Fox just dropped this picture, and we'll talk about the other celebrities in a second, but check this out. She made an announcement with this picture, and it was for her pregnancy. And this sent social media into a frenzy because wouldn't you want the imagery to resemble the exact opposite? Now this got me thinking. I've seen this a lot recently. So on Lady Gaga's last music video, we see this black goo with a dark version of herself, throws it up onto her, and she indulges in it. Many think that this was her symbolizing that she is embracing her inner demons. Then on Justin Timberlake's last music video, he had something very similar. A literal demon is throwing up the same black goo onto him, symbolizing some type of dark possession while it's all over his face, and demons in the music video continue to surround him. And someone who uses this often is Billie Eilish. One song she drinks it and it oozes out of her eyes. On another song, I think she is representing Lucifer, and she is covered in it while she spreads her dark wings. So we can see clearly that this imagery represents some type of inner struggle, some type of possession, or any type of darkness. But why would Megan Fox use this in her pregnancy announcement?
I don't know what that stuff is, but it's disgusting looking. What happened to the old days where celebrities tried to look attractive in their music videos? I think they all just sold themselves for their careers. They probably don't even know what kind of symbolism they're partaking in half the time. They're just a bunch of pretty puppets.
What if it's called Freemasonry because they get the masonry for free? Hear me out. What if these old buildings have been around for like 25,000 years? And we live in a world like this where the sun rotates and moves around like the clock in Prague depicts, and it melts the ice lands to become inhabitable and freezes the old lands to become uninhabitable, causing an ice age. That's right, just imagine your world right here. Yes, it's the moon map, four-quarter theory, baby. It's all connected, and what if these fallen beings know this and they travel with the sun, knowing that there is Freemasonry to be inhabited when they get there? A lot of people think these things were built by aliens because of the master masonry that comprises them. Wait, master masonry. Oh, master masonry, I've heard that before. They tell us there's no escape. There will be another ice age and there's nothing you can do about it. So tell your kids and tell them to tell their kids, and just one day it's all going to become ice. All while the government officials already know they're going to be finding some free masonry when the sun moves to its next age. What's the highest rank of Freemasonry? 33 degrees. And how many angels fell from heaven? 33.33%, landing on the 33.33 degree north longitude and 33.33 degree east latitude. We could absolutely be lied to about our timeline. They're finding stuff like this and like this and like this in the ice of Antarctica. So what could they be finding there that they're not telling us about? Maybe stuff like this. So what if Freemasonry literally means free masonry? This video is for entertainment purposes only. We're just throwing around theories here. Nothing to be taken as literal. Just use your discernment, please.
Naming themselves Freemasons because they found a bunch of free buildings everywhere would be a little on the nose. Especially if they're trying to hide the fact that they found all those buildings. I like this theory though, it's fun, and I'm a huge fan of the quarter theory. I don't subscribe to a flat earth, but I think he's onto something with the shifting ice aspect. Hey, if you're enjoying this video and you like this type of content, I post a new one just like it every day, Monday through Friday. It'd be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to join me. Also, don't forget to check out my merch store at berry-stepp.com.
On August 15th this year, something odd and very creepy happened during the Lana Del Rey concert in Mexico. Now, Lana Del Rey is an American singer and songwriter, celebrated for her enchanting voice and nostalgic cinematic style. And it was during one of her shows in Mexico City this year that a mysterious phenomenon was captured on camera. In several videos, we can see what looks like some sort of mysterious energy wave that seems to knock down the crowd. This, for instance, is one of the videos recorded by a fan. Pay very close attention. Strange, isn't it? But it gets even stranger when you watch it from different angles. Check this out. In the video we can clearly see what looks as if some sort of mysterious energy wave that seems to be knocking people down. After being uploaded to the internet, the mysterious event caught a lot of attention and internet users were divided. While some state that this is some sort of domino effect, where a bunch of people stumble upon each other, many other internet users seem to agree that this is most likely related to some sort of supernatural energy or maybe even a ritual that was being performed on the show. There were also many internet users that state that whatever happened, it was like a shockwave. It was way too big and too fast to be some sort of domino effect. Now, even though I would like to agree that this is most likely a domino effect, there were many people who were present in the show that left comments saying that this was something else entirely, something far more sinister. One internet user states, "I can't explain it. It was a strange force, but I didn't feel much." Another user states, "I do believe that something happened there, like a kind of a very strong vibe or energy that knocked down several people." And even though there's no evidence of this mysterious force field, I did research the topic and I found various different videos that portray strange energies that seem to be floating around the crowd in different situations. And it's the case with the infamous Travis Scott concert that happened in 2021, where thousands of people state that they felt as if some sort of satanic ritual was being performed during the show. There's even a video where you can see what looks like some sort of demonic entity jumping over the crowd. And it's the case with this mysterious video in New York City. Check this out.
It's not a flag. New York?
Did you see that? What appears to be some sort of shadow figure can be seen moving around the crowd. And if we slow-mo and zoom in on the video, it seems to be something moving in an unnatural way. Very fast and somewhat translucent. This is definitely not someone holding a banner or anything like that. This is something else entirely. So could it be that something similar to this happened in the Lana Del Rey show? Or was it maybe something else? What's your take?
I kind of think this guy may have never gone to a concert before. Anyone who's been in one of those crowds like that before can tell you, you don't decide where you stand, the crowd decides where you stand. That being said, that particular Lana Del Rey video did look a little bit more out of the norm in my opinion. Those people seem to be toppling over in every direction.
Another Hollywood screenwriter has just been caught trying to meet up with an alleged minor. And I say another one because this isn't the first time he's caught one. If you don't know who this is Vitaly, and he is a streamer slash YouTuber, and he has a series where he tries to catch predators who are trying to meet up with minors. He sets up a trap and does that whole thing. So the man he caught this time goes by CJ Cox. He is known for writing and directing movies such as Sweet Home Alabama, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, Rip in Time, and many more. Now the footage was kind of hard to find for this one, but here you can see that he entered the home with the alleged minor. They were setting up the trap, and then the second it got a little too far, Vitaly comes in with his whole team and they do their whole spiel. The Hollywood screenwriter they caught previously was even bigger. His name is Herschel Weingrod, and he wrote stuff like Space Jam, Teen Titans, and Kindergarten Cop, and they did the same thing. They set up a trap in public, the man went to go meet the alleged minor, and they continued to do their whole show. But Hollywood is slowly starting to get exposed, and shout out to people like this who are catching them.
Isn't it just an added level of creepy that they all seem to work on children's movies or family films? I wonder sometimes how grown adults can sit there all day coming up with dialogue for children's cartoon characters and not go crazy. Now I think it's making a little bit more sense. These people spend their free time thinking about kids, so it's probably pretty easy for them to get in the mindset. Disgusting.
Another crazy thing, they went to where the Incas were, Machu Picchu and all that stuff. You can go there today and you see giant megalith stones that are perfectly stacked together. It looks like they melted into place. The Incas talk about before them, the star person that came down had the ability to melt rock to where it could perfectly fit. That made me think of the Lizard City in LA, how the Native Americans spoke of these people had the technology to melt rock and stuff.
What about that?
He went all over the Americas, same kind of structure where it literally looks like it was melted into place. And there was even a cave there. They call it the Serpent Cave. Perfectly carved out of the bedrock. All of the walls are shiny. People are saying it's like that because people have been touching it over time. The archaeologists like every single hand would have had to touch every single part of this
that doesn't
tunnel.
make sense.
This was caused by a fast extreme heat to carve this out. A lot of these cultures talk about after this massive apocalypse that happened, there was a man that traveled with like 7 people to teach the new technology of like how to regrow. And I'm like, this kind of sounds like Noah and his family, bro.
Yeah.
Ooh, that was an interesting theory. that it was Noah and his family going around after the great flood spreading the knowledge to help people rebuild? I don't know that it lines up with the Bible, but it's an interesting theory. I'm convinced somebody went around teaching survivors how to rebuild and how to farm. There's just overwhelming evidence of that, but I think it was likely multiple small groups that were doing it. All these places seem to be taking off at the same time.
Future strategic issues 2025. I decided to just flip through it quickly to see what it was about. I was a little stunned on page 4. The presentation is based in all cases upon existing data, trends, analysis technologies, no pixie dust. And the entire premise of the document, or the PowerPoint, is about robots, cyborgs, and humans, a conflict between future and now. And I thought, what are they covering up? And that's why we're talking right now, because I think most people would be shocked to find on page 93.
So who wrote this document, and was this intentional? Did they want the public to see this, do you think? Or
the most wealthy, rich men on the face of the planet always telegraph everything that they're going to do. So the fact that it was on the NASA website, it was certainly available to the public, but did they see it? Obviously not. That's the purpose of this discussion, is for people to know about this document. Radiation frequencies against our brains, etc. Same page 93, they say exploit CNN syndrome. You can watch the movie called War. Human limitations and human downsides. Humans are too large, humans are too heavy, too tender, humans are too slow, both physically and mentally. We cost way too much money to maintain. And humans have rapidly decreasing to negative value. Can you even believe this? I mean, you're hearing this, and it's got to be rather shocking. This is the corporations' agencies. For example, on page 45, beam weapons increasingly prevalent. About on page 9, this is very interesting. They're going to direct evolution. Global elites believe that they have accomplished immortality. And they're doing that, again, keeping in mind that this entire document is about robots, cyborgs, and humans. They've already mapped our brains. We've just recently heard that they can transfer a human brain into machinery. So whenever they tell us that this is a new scientific discovery, we know it's been decades and decades prior to us ever finding out. They say that this micron-sized mechanized dust, they talk about the use of low frequencies, microwave frequencies, and they say 100% of the human population will be affected by these frequencies. Effects of frequencies and how it will be used, they acknowledge that it will interfere with our performance. We acknowledge this in this document. Well, I think the solution is that people need to become educated.
I'd like to give a hand to whoever edited that. What a mess. I just had to put this in here, though, because I knew that we'd have a lot of people who, just like me, get really excited at the prospect of something new to dive into. There is a link in this video's description to download a PDF of this. Everybody go check it out.
Are you intelligent, a critical thinker? This is laser technology on stone, modern times. This is ancient technology carved by hand, supposedly. Now, remember, this is stone. And some of these were said to have been carved by hand out of full one-piece mountains. This is intricate detail. Look at the sharp corners and the very smooth edges. Some of this looked like it was sandblasted or laser cut with the technology we see today. Now, I kind of want to spin a little bit of a different theory to you. If these were made out of one single mountain, well, what if these were actually made by wood? Have you seen the mountains that look like giant tree trunks? Or should I say the giant tree trunks that were petrified and now look like mountains? The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. This is Mount Roraima in Venezuela, and the locals say that this was a giant tree that bared all kinds of fruit for everyone. Now, to petrification. This is said to be a hand carving as well, but to me that looks like a nice big old petrified giant. And if you have trouble with petrification, here is a petrified human leg inside of a boot. This is in a museum, 100% real. I mean, here's the bone marrow and everything, which I can't help but think about the underground caves that look like they are made out of bone marrow as well. Could these caves be made of the innards of a petrified giant? Back to the structures. Some of these are said to have been carved from the inside out. And what about the structures that continue on down into the ground? You know, trees are as big beneath the ground as they are above the ground. So if these were giant carvings, then petrified kind of makes sense. And to a giant, it would be the equivalence of someone today carving something out of a tree stump. If some of these were the size of mountains, of course. Then maybe the little ones came in later and added all the details.
This is a really interesting theory. So if they carved that stuff out of wood and then buried it, over time it would petrify and turn to stone. Maybe that's what their intentions were, and that's why they buried those places. That's a really fun idea. My only hesitation in not leaning that way is that we don't see a lot of broken pieces, which you would expect at least a few if that place was all wood whenever they buried it.
The U.S. Patent Office instructs their caseworkers to deny or stall alternatives of free energy patents. If this sounds like a conspiracy theory, it's actually not, and here's the proof. The U.S. Patent Office had a secret program that could prevent inventions that were flagged from ever being granted a patent. It was called the Sensitive Application Warning System, referred to as SAWS. Most people don't know about this program that began in 1994 because it was intended to be kept secret. However, the program was revealed to the public through a leaked internal memo that was sent to a U.S. Patent Office manager that instructed them to remind their case examiners of the SAWS program guidelines. This is proof that the government is silencing and suppressing free energy. It's right here in their documents. Think about it. There were only a few categories on this list, and free energy was one of them.
And that's plenty enough evidence for me to show me that they are hiding free energy from us. Now just imagine this gets brought to the attention of the Department of Government Efficiency. We may actually get free energy devices released to the market. I don't really want to get my hopes up, but if there was ever a time that this could actually happen, I think we're looking at it.
I need y'all to contact Pepsi and everybody else. Pepsi's got some explaining to do. They got something in every Mountain Dew that I've been to, from Food Line to Dollar General to the Sit-Go to the store up the road. They all have something floating around in them and they need to explain what it is. You tell me what that right there is. Tell me what's floating in every one of these Mountain Dews. Every one of them. Every single one of them. What is that? Diet Mountain Dew. The 20 ounces. The Code Red. The 12 ounces. Everything. Pepsi needs some explaining to do. And I think that's the reason why I was so sick on Sunday. Not only is it in the 2-liter Mountain Dews there, Pepsi, not only is it in the 2 liters, it's in these two.
I guess pay attention to your Mountain Dew if you're drinking it, or stop drinking Mountain Dew altogether. That stuff is horrible for you, but to each his own. I just threw this in here as a PSA.
Dear Mr. Trump, we're begging you for your help. Here in West North Carolina, we have lost everything. Thousands are dead. They'll never tell the real number, but we know the real number. Thousands are dead. There are thousands living in tents on their land temporarily before Roy Cooper removes them. Roy Cooper has already said he's taken the land. It's too unstable to live on. And we have nobody here on our side. Nobody. We have to do what Roy Cooper says. And these people are going to be moved off their land soon, the ones that are still there trying to hold on to their land. And they have treated us like since the day they came. And we need you. We need you, Mr. Trump, on our side to do anything you can to stop the land grab that's happening. So if this message can get to you, please help the residents of West North Carolina. We beg you. Thank you.
We knew it. I called it. Y'all called it. I know I've read over a couple hundred comments of people telling me this is all going to turn into a big land grab. And here we go. That's exactly what's going on. They're going to steal these people's land so they can get that lithium out of the ground. This crap makes me sick. Our federal government should be ashamed.
Do you know, I don't even recognise the world that we're living in anymore. I really don't. Like, if you told me a couple of years ago that my parents teaching me to tell the truth when I was younger would lead me to be a domestic terrorist as an adult, I would have said that you're mad. But no, that is exactly what conspiracy theorists, people who tell the truth, are classed as. They're classed as domestic terrorists. And you know, it's funny because if you think about it, all the propaganda around conspiracy theorists, they actually conditioned you to believe that people like us are unhinged conspiracy theorists, so you don't listen to us. So you don't take in what we're saying. Because once you go down the rabbit hole and learn the truths that we've learned, there's no going back. You don't see the world as you used to. Everything changes. I feel like I've been in a deep sleep my whole life and I've only woke up out of it over the last couple of years, and I see the world completely different. And I just don't recognise it to what it used to be.
That's such a good point. We were all raised to be honest and to tell the truth. And now, if you so much as point out something that doesn't make sense with the government's narrative, not even saying they're wrong, just simply questioning them, now you're a domestic terrorist. Our society has gotten to the point that it no longer rewards honesty but compliance. Fortunately, the pendulum is swinging in the other direction now, and I have a feeling that common sense is about to make a huge comeback.
In this particular video, a family was celebrating a birthday party when all of a sudden they spot dozens, if not hundreds, of luminous objects nearby. At first, they thought it could be fireworks, maybe a meteor shower or something like that. But this is when they start realizing that this thing does not behave like anything they had ever seen before. Whatever these things are, it seems that most people agree that these are not lanterns, balloons, nor anything like that. So, what are they?
I know what they are. I know what they are. They're gone. They're still there. They're farther away.
Now, what makes this all very interesting is that just recently something very similar was seen in Wichita, but this time during the day. Check this out.
Does anyone have any idea what's flying over Wichita right now? I just was on a walk and I saw these out to the west, and I thought they were birds or balloons at first, but they were moving in a perfectly straight line with no flapping or anything like that, so not a clue what they could be. They're flying very smoothly though.
In this particular video, an internet account by the name of Velo Ace captures something really strange in Wichita. Now, according to Velo Ace, these are not balloons nor drones, and at first, I did think it could be just a balloon launch. If you take a look at videos of hundreds of balloons flying, it actually looks as if it could be the same thing. But then I noticed something strange. If we compare the object's speed with the building that's static on the ground, it seems as if the objects are moving too fast to be balloons. Not only that, they appear to be flying in formation and not erratically like balloons would. And they don't seem to be drones to me, but I could be wrong. So if these things are not drones nor balloons, what are they? Strange, isn't it?
This video reminds me of when I went to BuzzFest back in the early 2000s. The concert got rained out, and while we were waiting to see if the bands were going to come on stage or not, almost this exact thing happened right overhead. I bet I saw a couple hundred people all pointing at it, besides the people that were just looking, like 200 arms in the air. That's how apparent it was. These things were everywhere. Now, I don't have any video footage of it because it was pouring down rain and everybody had their phones in their pockets trying to keep them safe. I actually had mine in a Ziploc bag. But still to this day, I'm convinced that I saw UFOs at BuzzFest, and they looked exactly like they did in that video clip. But guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and end this video right there. I hope you enjoyed these clips we watched together today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. I hope you come back to join me. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and check out www.barry-stepp.com if you'd like to order yourself a shirt or a hat or a hoodie. It helps me support the channel, and I tremendously appreciate anyone who orders anything off of there. Also, don't forget to post your merch over in the Discord to get your photo and a video. But with all that out of the way, I hope everyone has a great, safe, fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow.